as Savant syndrome. For those of you who don't know what Savant syndrome is, it's when someone with an intellectual disability possesses extraordinary talents, knowledge, or abilities in a specific area. Almost like since you're dumb in one place, you're extremely smart in other places. Which I'm assuming you already are thinking of a few Jeffy moments where this has been made clear. Jeffy does have a lot more wrong with him than he puts off though. Most people assume Jeffy has Down syndrome, which is somewhat confirmed. In SML movie, Bowser Jr. kinda goes camping. Jr. and his friends are camping inside the house because Jr. doesn't want to camp outside, and eventually Jeffy comes by their tent, and when asked if he wants to join them to tell scary stories, he says,
well, anyway, Jeffy, we were camping and we were telling scary stories. Do you want to tell scary stories?
I'm down. Syndrome.
But also in Jeffy's yard sale, when Jeffy starts to sell all of his toys and eventually gets Brooklyn Guy to buy a third of a crayon, Marvin comes by to ask how the sale is going, and Jeffy says,
hey Jeffy, how's the yard sale going?
Great, Daddy. My sales are up and my syndrome is down.
Although he does explicitly say it, it's not really confirmed, as Jeffy could just be regular stupid and calling himself that. Jeffy also tends to get afraid by almost everything, such as being afraid of water in Jeffy's bath time when Marvin and Rosalina trying to get him to take a bath, but Jeffy runs away and then only gets in the bathtub when there's a giant rubber duck protecting him from the water. He was also deathly afraid of water in SML movie Jeffy's swimming lessons when he was pushed into the water by Brooklyn Guy and almost had a heart attack. But this does kinda make sense since he did almost drown in SML movie Jeffy's swimming pool and no one paid attention to him.
Guys, I can't.
Yeah, this pool's really nice.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude.
As well, he's afraid of animals such as giraffes, as shown in SML movie Jeffy Goes to the Zoo, when he thinks the giraffe bit his hand off, when in reality the giraffe just licked his hand. And he's really afraid of the number 7 because of the joke 7, 8, 9.
Dang, I'm afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9.
What?
Oh, I get it, because 7, 8, 9.
Oh no, I get it.
Well, if 7, 8, 9, 10 is next.
But the first sign of Jeffy's Savant syndrome was in SML movie Smart Jeffy, when he was shown to have exceptionally high intelligence. Jeffy was annoying Marvin, and so Marvin tells Jeffy to go play with Junior, but in the room they're in, there's a trampoline, which Jeffy doesn't know how to be safe on, which causes him to hit the table, and the pencil shoots up into his head and through his brain. But once he wakes up, his demeanor changes and starts listing off medical diagnoses and even impresses the doctor.
That defeats the purpose of the diaper.
I know.
The diaper's supposed to get dirty because if I sat in it in my pants, then I would get butt excoriation and my butt would break down, and then eventually it would get infected, causing you to have to remove some of my butt.
Well, that's absolutely right, actually.
But to then test him, they give him a Rubik's Cube and he solves it in 5 seconds. But one detail which breaks the fourth wall is the fact that the first Rubik's Cube they gave him has a logo on the center of the white piece, but in the solved cube, the logo's gone, which is obvious they used 2 cubes, but it's still fun to notice. But later in the episode, he scores a 300 on the IQ test, which is the highest possible score to get on the test, and 72 points higher than the highest ever recorded IQ, which was coincidentally set by Marilyn Vos Savant. And 8 months later, Jeffy competes in the world's smartest person competition and beats Stephen Hawking, Cody, and Jackie Chu, making him the smartest person in the world. However, right before he was about to win, he sneezes and that causes the pencil to dislodge from his brain, making him stupid again.
The answer is 8. The answer is clearly 8. You take away the 4, so the 4's not there anymore, and then what you have left, you have 8. The answer is 8. You're wrong. The answer was 4. You're eliminated.
In SML movie Jeffy the Psychic, when Marvin goes to wake up Jeffy, Jeffy doesn't want to go to school, so he forces Marvin to try and find him. But eventually Marvin finds Jeffy on the roof, and after a short conversation, he jumps off the roof and hits his head on the stairs, which should have killed him, but somehow ended up giving him the ability to see into the future. Although most people are able to think of what might happen in the future, Jeffy was given the ability to see things that had no precedent and no one could have seen coming. Like when the doctor came over to check on Jeffy's head, and and randomly bills Marvin $10,000 out of nowhere. Or when he saw that a ball was going to hit the clock above Jackie Chu and fall on him, so he tried to stop Junior and Cody from throwing the ball, which actually caused the ball to hit the clock at all, pretty much making it a self-fulfilling prophecy. But once the doctor hits him in the head with a bat, he then lost the ability. Also, in SML movie Jeffy's Bad Christmas, Jeffy was seen to have abnormal amounts of strength for his size. In the episode, Jeffy only got one present, which was coal because he behaved bad that year, and then after realizing this, he picks up the entire tree and throws it off a porch into the backyard. And that tree is like 50 times his size, which shows his incredible strength. However, this is the only accentuated trait of Jeffy's, which is physical. All of the rest are mental, which is what we're going to be focusing on, as Savant syndrome only affects the mind. In SML movie Jeffy's Brain, he also knows multiple languages, as in the video, Jeffy sneezes his brain out and they lose his brain in a brain bin and have to keep putting in new brains until they eventually get Jeffy's brain back in his body. And once they get his brain back in, he starts speaking French fluently, which is weird because he's never shown signs of knowing French in the past, or maybe it's because the opportunity never came for him to use French.
Oh man, I'm so glad to have the original Jeffy back.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Jacques-Pierre François.
Ow, dang, what the f was that for?
Jeffy?
Jeffy?
Yeah, it's me. Who else would it be?
What, you were just speaking French, Jeffy.
Yeah, I learned it from my daddy.
But what's even weirder is the fact that he can speak French so fluently, yet he can't even speak English properly, as shown in SML movie Jeffy's Homework, when Marvin and Rose try to teach Jeffy phonics, but he can't even pronounce any of the English words correctly.
All right.
Giraffe.
No, there's no D in giraffe.
Giraffe.
No, giraffe.
Giraffe.
Jeffy has also been seen to be exceptional in the most random things, such as in SML movie Pokemon Part 6, Junior, Cody, and Chef Pee-Pee were walking in a park, and Jeffy was in a tree above them throwing acorns and challenges Junior to a Pokemon battle. So then Junior accepts the battle and uses Pidgeotto, but when Jeffy brings out his Pokemon, it's literally Cookie Monster. So Junior says that they can't battle because it would be unfair, and Cody eventually comes by with his Pokedex and says that it doesn't recognize Cookie Monster as a Pokemon. Until Cookie Monster uses the move Thunderbolt and literally one-shots Junior's Pidgeotto. Somehow, Jeffy went to Sesame Street, captured Cookie Monster in a Pokeball, got Cookie Monster to somehow obey Jeffy, when he then somehow trained Cookie Monster to use the move Thunderbolt to the point where he's powerful enough to one-shot other Pokemon. Truly exceptional. But there's one specific detail that seems to tie all of these instances together. It has something to do with Jeffy's brain receiving trauma. For example, when Jeffy's brain gets sneezed out and gets put back in, that's when he knows fluent French. In Jeffy the Psychic, when he fell off a roof and hit his head, which then gave him the ability to see into the future. In Smart Jeffy, he became the smartest person alive once a pencil had stabbed through his brain. Although this would never work in real life, for Jeffy, it seems to almost make him superhuman, which leads me to believe one fact that would make Jeffy, Marvin, and Rosalina billionaires. Since Jeffy gains extraordinary abilities with head trauma, Marvin or Rose just needs to call him a bad boy and yell at him, and then immediately he will start banging his head against the wall, causing head trauma, which will probably lead to him gaining some supernatural abilities due to his Savant syndrome, and they could use that to make a ton of money. But let me know what you guys think, or if I missed anything down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.